Hey guys.
Hey.
What do you call two crows stuck together?
A duo crow?
Velcro.
Nice.
Kicking it back off with a strong one. Oh, welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, everybody.
Some things don't change.
Hello and welcome back to That's Class, a podcast about things we find class, hosted by three of your favorite class holes. As always, I'm Ruaridh Kidd, joined by the biscuit boss himself, Duncan Malcolm, and the sexiest guy we know, the official hero on the podcast because he's officially given us a boner, Eddie Ashcroft. How's it going, boys?
We're back.
Morning.
We're back, baby. Episode
back,
25.
25.
They couldn't keep us down for long.
No.
We started to slowly get those episodes. It wasn't a week apart. It was maybe 2 weeks apart. And then all of a sudden it was 7 months.
And then they were gone.
It wasn't 7 months. It's been like,
I don't know. When did we stop?
Episode 24. So
July. I'm continuing it on as episode 25 rather than season 2 because it just looks better, I think.
Season 2 is a new year, new season.
Yeah, but we'll just continue the numbers. We won't just go back to number 1.
That's what the podcast professionals do.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, welcome to podcast number 367.
Yeah, but it's actually like episode 2 of season 55 or something.
Look how high my numbers are.
Yeah, exactly.
Pump up those stats. What is it, Duncan? You know. Pump up those numbers.
Those are rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers in this racket. And pump those numbers up. So well, let's get some little bit of housekeeping out of the way. Rory, you've changed destination yet again. We are truly now a prestige worldwide podcast.
Worldwide. Why? Yeah, I've moved to Sri Lanka for the next 6 months. I've been here since October. It's great.
So you've got 3 months left?
No, I have 6 months left. So I'm here for a total of 8. I got here in October and I'll be flying home maybe in the end of May.
Just in time for your birthday. Is that
just in time? I think I'm flying on my birthday actually.
Nice.
It's like the worst thing to do.
Is that what happens when you reach that age? You learn to fly. That's pretty cool.
Learn to fly, yeah.
Why does everyone keep that secret from us?
Don't know. Everyone keeps thinking that like
keep your secrets.
21 is such a big birthday, but 31 you learn to fly.
That's when you learn to fly.
So yeah, I think 30th of May, roundabout there is when I'll fly home. But I'm here for the next 6 months. It's very tropical. It's very humid. I have like 3 fans facing me right now, so hopefully it's not affecting the audio.
Wait, you have fans?
Yeah, I've got 3 fans in the room right now.
Fans. Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is that like the only fans in your house?
No, they're not real fans. I had to buy them. They're robot fans.
You can do that in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, you can buy fans to make you look better.
I hope it's clean electricity. Good for the environment and some stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing actually. So fingers crossed for the pod. Just sporadically we have blackouts. Because there's lots of strikes, and one of my friends that lives here said that a lot of the Sri Lankans have a way of life where they go, I've made enough money this month, I'm not going to work anymore. So suddenly the power goes out and then no one has power for like a day. So fingers crossed, we still have lights and Wi-Fi and things. So
well, surely if the power's on in the morning, you're good for the day.
Well, no.
Someone turned up.
No. Someone turned up.
Turned up.
I mean, during the day it might be fine, and then all of a sudden, like 12:30, the lights will go out,
shift change.
and then you'll have like a world, an island-wide email or whatever saying, "Oh, power's out until 9 p.m." or something.
It's the last email sent of the day.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Yeah, fair enough. Island life. It's a tropical island. Fair enough. So that's my housekeeping. What have you guys been up to, Eddie? You've designed a garage.
I have done that. Yes, it's finished, and I've been working and studying. So it's not been I've not had a fun couple months.
Oh, okay, because that was another reason why we stopped the pod was because you had some things to focus on, and I had potentially my job was moving, and it's now where it is, which is fine.
I had some life to do.
Yeah, you had some growing up and life.
Had some serious life admin to do that needed fun things to be put on hold.
Whereas Duncan's just been sitting in the shadows waiting.
I haven't moved from the seat. I've been sitting here waiting like Pablo Escobar just kicking rocks. Like
sitting in your little swing.
Yeah, it's just like,
insert GIF.
Yeah.
How have you been, Dunk? How's these months been? You okay?
Been fine. Just watching, just consuming content. And
how many bottles of whiskey have you completed?
Surviving. 10. Oh, finished one. I bought one not that long ago. I just finished.
Are you platinuming bottles of whiskey?
Yeah,
that's it. Funnily enough, the achievements. If you drink enough, the achievements actually appear in front of your face.
Even aiming for that big Rudolph
in the form
nose.
of like a really bulbous whiskey nose.
Yeah, that's it.
Achievement unlocked. Bought and paid for.
Bought and paid for.
Nice. So you're ready to get started?
Yeah.
Let's dive straight in, shall we?
Head first.
This week, since we've taken a few months off, what we're going to do is we're going to completely scrap what's ever happened in this week, other than trailers and things that Eddie finds dumb. It was a segment that we found hilarious, so we wanted to bring it back. And this podcast is all about just making ourselves laugh. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to talk about the top 3 shows that we've seen this year, TV shows, top 3 movies that we've seen this year, which includes Netflix movies. And then we'll probably pick one great one and one awful movie and TV show. Is that right?
Yeah. And just think maybe also we'll also through that, we'll probably cover a few things that we missed and go from there. And let's find out where everyone's opinions currently are.
Nice. And in classic That's Class tradition, we've come in with zero preparation. So I won't go first. I'll let someone else go first. Maybe Duncan will go first because he's probably over-prepared.
I've not been sitting here. Yeah, I'm over-prepared for this.
So Duncan, why don't you kick us off with your 3 best TV shows this year?
3 best TV shows. I'll go 3, 2, 1. Okay. So in at 3 is Arcane, which is on Netflix. It's based on the League of Legends game, and it's kind of a hand-drawn style anime. It's not really an anime. It's more like it's more cartoon than it would be sort of anime style. Yeah. It has had rave reviews, and I can say it's actually very, very good. It's about 2 sisters, and then one of them. It's the classic story of one kind of disappears and goes with the one faction. And they have an argument. One goes with one faction, one goes with the other faction, and then 10 years later, they come back together, and there's conflict.
They have a big old fight.
No, it's really good. The animation style is really, really cool. I know we'll probably talk about another show that had cool animation styles, but it's just one of these. It's something different. Haven't seen any of them yet.
Audio listeners, we impersonated some bunnies.
Audio listeners, I haven't seen any bunnies yet.
Kind of bunnies.
But it's no, really good. I'll move on from 3. 2, my second in the year was Cobra Kai season 3.
Oh man, did I not watch that? Is that already out?
That came out in January this year.
Oh, maybe I have watched that then. Maybe I did watch that.
That's probably been what that I like the Cobra Kai TV show.
I loved it. I loved Cobra Kai.
It's so bonkers, and it's kind of someone said something that made me laugh about it, which is if you see like a musical, you just accept that everyone can sing, right? In Cobra Kai, you just accept that everyone can do karate.
This whole town is just this whole based on karate.
Can all do karate. They're just karate mad. So. It's bonkers. It's great. I think it does really well with the nostalgia. It doesn't do too much of it, but it also helps that half the actors that are in it that were in the original films have not aged. Like Ralph Macchio kind of looks the same, and they've all seemed to like they all look the same. They can all still do all the fight scenes and stuff, and you're like, all right, okay, this is pretty good. So that's at number 2.
I would agree. I think who's the guy? Is it Ralph Macchio? Is the Karate Kid?
Yes.
Yeah, I find his acting better when he was younger rather than he is now. I find him quite wooden. And then when he tries to do the karate, I'm like, oh, he's very much a 50-year-old man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. But that's part of it. I think once it kind of gets away with that, it's one of these things where it gets away with the woodenness because he's still the karate kid. He still looks like Daniel LaRusso, and you're like, all right, okay.
And I think I saw in a review, they were like, oh, there's no police in this town ever.
Yeah.
These kids are just having karate battles in the middle of someone's house and no police turns up.
No police. A kid
breaks his back in school and like no police turns up. No one's put in jail.
Off a staircase.
Yeah, no one's put in jail. Oh, wait, is he put in jail?
Then the security guard turns on all the kids and starts beating up all the children.
Yeah.
Like, what
weird
is
show.
Going on?
The soundtrack is also incredible. So if you ever want to just go on Netflix, go on Spotify or Apple Music and just type in Cobra Kai soundtrack, you will have a great time.
Great time.
What's your number 3, Don?
Well, top of the pile for this year is best TV show I've seen this year, by far. So Arcane's at 3, Cobra Kai's at number 2, and the best show I've seen this year so far is Only Murders in the Building. On
Only Murderers.
Only Murders is season 2
in the building. What's that about?
It's about murders in a building.
Ah, okay.
Nice, understand.
Oh, is this the thing with Zendaya or something? Oh no, with Selena Gomez and some comedians.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Is that like quite recent?
Yeah, it came out this year, late summer, and it wrapped up. And that is genuinely one of the best shows I've seen this year. It is. It's just got the right balance of murder mystery, comedy. You've obviously got Steve Martin, Martin Short, who are excellent comedic actors. Selena Gomez is actually really good in it as well. It was kind of the wild card. You're not quite sure because she's not exactly got like
I've not really seen her since like her Disney Channel days.
Yeah, like so there's not a lot of back catalogue in terms of acting, but she's really good in it. Steve Martin is dependable, and it's written in a way that you really want to see what happens next week, and they end each episode with a great twist or a hook. You think, God, and it was released weekly as well.
Oh, okay. Disney Plus is doing that quite a lot, aren't they? They're not doing like the classic streaming Netflix. Here's the whole season.
I quite like that.
I just find that frustrating.
I find it frustrating. I just want to get it done.
If I'm going to watch it, I'm binging it. I'm watching 2 episodes a night minimum.
Yeah, I want to go in and out, and then I'm done.
Well, see, that's what I'm doing with Hawk.
Speed is of the essence, you know. Don't hang around. Sweet in and out, and then walk away.
Yeah. Like the quicker I can watch this, the quicker I can go back to like trying to find something to watch.
Yeah, I'm writing all these down as well because some of these I've not seen. So that's good, Dunk.
So that was that, and I'd like to give the special mention, although it got absolutely absolutely just blasted in reviews and just people didn't like it at all.
Blasted in the ass.
I just watched was the Cowboy Bebop live action.
Oh, it's been cancelled.
It's been cancelled.
Has it?
I actually really we watched it and I quite enjoyed it. I liked the anime. But I quite enjoyed it. It was it felt a bit cheap and a bit, it felt a bit cosplayish. It didn't feel like the costumes and stuff looked a bit off, but it all kind of worked for me. It felt a bit like Firefly. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't compare it to the anime. It's completely different, but it was good. I think it got a bad rap because, of course, all the people jumped to defend the original quite viciously, and
It can be quite like that with like animes being adapted for live action, though, can't it? Like the diehard sort of anime fans can get quite protective.
Quite protective, yeah. So I think they could have done it better, but I don't think it nearly as I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Let's put it this way: it's one of these ones that if they were struggling for something to watch, it was a good watch, and it was only something like 8 episodes, something like that. 8 episodes. So it's good.
Nice.
So that's the best TV shows I've seen this year.
Yeah. Eddie, have you got a list, or do you want me to go next?
You go next.
Nice one. So I can't remember
scribbling.
Yeah, what TV shows came out this year. We already talked about it, but Sweet Tooth came out this year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was this year.
Sweet Tooth is definitely in my top 3.
Nice.
I don't really have a grade yet. Like Duncan, obviously you've thought about this quite a lot.
I would give
thought
my
about this
class
genuinely.
Only Murders.
Yeah. I thought about this just as you were talking about it, and I was like, and things are coming to my head, which is why I wanted you to start, which is great. So yeah, Sweet Tooth is definitely up there in my top 3. It's a good story, and it was quite terrifyingly accurate to what's happening right now as well, in terms of like you all have a disease and everyone wants to like stay away from you.
But no baby hedgehog people yet.
No baby hedgehog people or bunny people
yet.
We all love a thick bunny.
Oh no! What happens if there's a thick bunny?
So yeah, I think Sweet Tooth.
Sorry, Fiona, I cannot watch this with you anymore.
Eddie, why do you have the pillow in your lap?
Lift that cushion.
Lift that cushion. He's got a stoner.
He's got a stoner.
Oh, get your granddad in here. Wee Jimmy's got a stoner.
No, your granny knows.
Giving your granny a heart attack. You've killed your granny. Oh, classic. Chewing the Fat. A Scottish comedy if you're not from Scotland. So yeah, Sweet Tooth, I think it's still on Netflix. If you haven't given it a go, it's really, really good. It is a comic that's been adapted to a TV show, I think. And it's about,
I think so.
It's about a virus that comes in and people turn into hybrid people. So like animal people. And if you're allergic to the animal people or something, or a flower, you get like a little shaky pinky and then you die. And then you spread the disease. Yeah, it's good. I didn't sell it very well, but I think you should watch it. I've got my other 2.
Pretty sure we had like an episode on it.
We did. If you go back, you go back into the episodes, you'll find it. Do your
episode like 22 or something like that.
Do your own homework. We're not here to tell you where it is. So one that was actually like people were raving about it, so I jumped on the bandwagon was Squid Game.
All right.
Oh yeah,
Squid Game. Watched that yet?
Squid Game was good. It was based on. It's basically all these people that are in severe debt in South Korea, and they get the option to join in this game to win. I think it's like 260 billion, whatever they use, wong, maybe. I don't know.
It's not wong.
Is it not? I quickly
remember,
Google that.
But I know it. But you're right.
So
it's a huge. It's a huge number because of the rate of.
It's a huge number because of the amount of people that are competing, and you quickly find out that the games they're playing are childhood games from when they were in school. But the twist of the game is if you're caught or if you don't do it, or if you're out of the game, you die.
It's one. So you're close.
One. I was close.
WN.
So basically they're playing like, what do we play? Like British Bulldog or Red Rover, when you turn around and look away and turn around and you have
what's
to
the time, Mr. Wolf?
Yeah, what's the time, Mr. Wolf?
Yeah. So they play that, and if the wolf sees you, then you get shot in the face, basically. So it quickly turns into this like pretty gruesome TV show about.
The deaths are gruesome as well. Let's not.
Man.
Let's not.
And I feel like a lot of some of the time I felt like it was gore for gore's sake. I was like, that was unnecessary. You didn't have to show that, Yeah. And then I also thought that the story was good. There was no worry for the main character for me whatsoever, because I'm like, he's the main character, so he's clearly going to make it to the end. And there he had his little posse, and I was like, well, his posse are probably going to make it near to the end, and then they're going to kill them off. So I pretty much predicted that to a T. There is a twist at the end that was quite good that I didn't predict. And then the very, very end twist, I was like, oh, they want to make a season 2, or I was kind of happy with how that ended, and I wanted him to like have a happy ending.
I didn't put it in my top 3 because of those kind of reasons. Like I was really struggling. I was like, is it in there? Is it not? It was good, but I don't think it was. The ending I didn't really like as much. I thought it started really well and it kind of carried itself through. And then there's that weird sort of bit towards the end.
It's like, the last 3 episodes, it kind of like tries to like finish all the ties. And they show you the guy behind they show you who the guy behind the black mask is. And you're like, you're meant to be like, oh my God. And I was like, wait, who's that? It's meant to be a huge cliffhanger. And then I was like, huh? But again, like it's only really in my top 3 because I don't know if I watched a lot of TV this year. A lot of it was like Parks and Rec, which isn't new. Friends, which isn't new.
Office, this isn't new.
Always Sunny, The Office. Yeah, a lot of stuff. To be fair, Always Sunny just started season 15 and I'm excited to jump into that.
Another season of Sunny started?
Yeah, season 15 just started.
Fuck me, they don't know.
They're going to Ireland.
Are they actually?
Yeah, they go to Ireland. But my last one, I've not finished it yet, but I'm only like 3 episodes in and I'm hooked. It's really good. It's called Jerry Haji. It's also on Netflix. It's Japanese words that mean, I think it means honor and deception or something. Jerry Haji. It's basically about this Yakuza guy dies in London with a small Japanese knife, and then it gets transported back to Japan in the Yakuza, and then a big massive war happens in the Yakuza and in Japan. And then a detective in Japan has to get flown to London to try and investigate, but he's not allowed to be there investigating because obviously it's a British jurisdiction. So he's like creeping in the shadows trying to figure out who did it. It's very, very good.
Was this on BBC iPlayer, or am I going mad?
It might have been. It feels like a BBC publication because it's got.
I feel like that was they bought it or they had it. So I remember seeing it advertised.
Lucy's just texted me, duty and shame. That's what Jerry Haji means.
Duty and shame.
She lived in Japan.
Through the wall.
Let me get the researcher in the background.
She's actually right there. She's in the bed, but this is why the camera faces this way. Also, the poster looks cool. But I recommend it.
In your ass.
Yeah, she's right there. But I can't hear her. I've got headphones on. It's fine. And she's very hungover.
You can hear though.
Cool. But if you've not seen it, it's a really cool, like if you're into like detective dramas, it's got some famous British actors that I've seen, which is why I think it might be a BBC thing that's gone to Netflix. But the acting's great, the story's great. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Awesome.
That's my top 3. I don't have what would be in the top 3, what would be like rated, but those are the 3 shows that I was pretty stoked on this year. So Eddie, what about you? Yeah. Zoom record. Edward, what about your 3 movies?
Movies?
TV shows.
Don't give me movies.
So I've now had adequate time to compile a list that had to be deeply researched because it turns out a lot of stuff I've watched thinking it came out this year came out like last year. But my top 3 is probably as follows. Number 1, Money Heist.
What season? The whole thing?
The whole thing, but it was the last season this year, so it's come to its conclusion this year.
Bella ciao.
And that was. Have you been watching it, or are you just?
I've seen season 1 and 2. I know the Bella Ciao song.
Culture. So that was ace. It was freaking awesome. But we don't want to. I don't want to talk about it with everyone until everyone's.
That's okay. What is it?
I'll
just like
and then we can
do like a brief. If people haven't,
I think it will be worthy of a discussion because
if people haven't seen it, what's the brief like synopsis? What's a brief outline as to what the TV show is?
So there's the gang, which is a gang of
Youths.
Korea criminal. Easy for you to say. Korea
Criminals.
career, not the country, the work thing. Criminals.
Okay.
And they're not Korean. They're Spanish, actually. It's all in Spanish. So you can either watch it subtitled or dubbed. And the dubbed is actually pretty good. I think I've said that before. And they basically, there's two big jobs across each. So I think like seasons 1 and 2 are they rob the Royal Mint of Spain.
Yeah, that seems to be the first one.
3, 4, and 5. They rob the Bank of Spain.
Ooh.
So it's pretty ace. It's quite a thinker. It's quite a lot goes on really, and like way more than you would think for being 3 seasons of robbing one bank. But it's pretty like intricate the way they go about the job, and you never know how the job's going to turn out when you enter a season. Even like at the end of season 3, you've no idea how they're getting out. At the end of season 4, you've no idea what's going on. Season 5 was split into 2 parts. The end of season 5, part 1, you didn't have a clue how they were getting out of there. You didn't have a clue.
That's exactly right. Because when I went into the first season, I was thinking, God, they're really like they really go into the in depth of kind of. It's not just like a bank robbery; it's like a hostage siege as well, and you've got like a bit of everything else in there, negotiations and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's tense, but it builds. It seems to build everything quite slowly. But I think like you seem pretty intent that it's going to pay off, so that's why I'm going to keep watching it.
I mean, it builds pretty slowly, but every so often there's like sort of little like a fake drop. Like it's like they tease a drop and it builds. But then there is like a bit of like something happens and then it sort of progresses the heist. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty ace. So that's my number 1 for this year.
I might jump in it because I only ever saw the first 2 seasons, the first heist. Yeah. And then I remember being like, because I thought, it's a heist, and then the rest of the show is maybe about how they're getting away. But the whole thing is about them. The
whole thing is the heist
inside the bank for like weeks.
Yeah. I'm not even sure. Yeah, no, it will be weeks. Yeah, they are in
they're in there for weeks.
They're in there for like a long time.
Yeah.
But season 5 was pretty good actually. Really enjoyed it.
I'll maybe jump back in.
You get quite attached to the characters.
That's why I was struggling to get into season 3 because a lot of the characters from season 1 had changed or like weren't going to be coming back, and I was like, get to know these new characters.
You get hooked. There's not really that many new ones. That's the thing, and you get hooked back in, and some of the penises from the first heist come back for the second heist.
We all know Eddie loves a good dick.
I love it. So that was my number 1. My number 2, Dave. Have you watched Dave?
Dave is a TV program.
Yes. TV show, yes.
What is Dave?
What is Dave?
It's by so I've been watching it on iPlayer on BBC. It's the comedian Dave Bird, also known as Lil Dicky. It's kind of like semi-autobiographical TV, sort of comedy TV show that he's done of him becoming a rapper.
Becoming a rapper?
Yeah, so the second season was this year. The first season was not last year, but the year before, I think. Very funny, like really funny. Like first season was like hilarious. Some of the stuff is outrageous. I highly recommend digging it out. Episodes it's one of these easy ones where there's maybe like 10 episodes a season, and an episode's like no more than half an hour long, 25 minutes sort of thing. So it's quite easy to watch. But like sign of a good TV show, I wasn't twitching from my phone.
Nice, that's good.
While watching TV.
Yeah, that's a valid. That's a good point.
A good modern criticism.
Yeah, sign of a good TV show, I wasn't twitching from my phone. And really, really funny, and some really like catchy like. So he's got like one album out, Dave. There's one album as Lil Dicky that he's got out, and it's a serious album. It's a serious rap album, and it's a good listen.
Is he a British comedian?
No, he's American.
He's American,
but he's like a Jewish white guy.
He's a rapper.
Does like serious raps. Yeah, he's got one with Snoop Dogg, which is really funny actually.
That's amazing.
It ends quite funny as well. But the TV show is good.
And it's about him. He's not in it.
No, he's in it. Yeah, he acts in it. He is himself in it.
He plays himself.
And then he's got his actual onstage hype man's called this guy called Gator, and he's in it as well. And,
it's not played by Will Ferrell.
No, no, but no, really good. Do recommend digging it out because there's only two seasons, like 10 episodes a season. So it's
I'll write that down.
That's it's nice, easy watching as well.
I'll put it on the list.
Think too hard.
Yeah.
And then number 3, I'm not really sure because I had written down stuff like Queen's Gambit, which I think I watched this year. But that
fuck yeah! Was that last year?
Was that last year?
Well, the Wikipedia, it came out last year.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
That's fine. If you watch Queen's Gambit, that's okay.
But I mean, Queen's Gambit, everyone kind of liked Queen's Gambit. I mean, I had Sex Education on.
Oh yeah, the new season came out. Yeah.
Season 3 this year. Really enjoyed that. Clickbait was actually. I don't know if you watched that on Netflix. It's stars Adrian Grenier from Vince from Entourage.
Oh yeah.
So that was pretty good. So the gist of that is he gets kidnapped, and then there's a whole sort of thing going on the side where he's kind of accused of a number of things, but he can't really defend himself, and it really, really looks like he's done these things, but he can't. But he's been kidnapped, so he can't prove it, and they're all looking for him, and the family don't want it to be true, and stuff happens, and it gets quite dark. It's serious. It's like a serious sort of like
is he good?
Like crime, psychological kind of thriller thing.
Is he acting good? Because the Vince, Vincent Chase acting.
But the Vincent Chase acting, you believe he's Vincent Chase, like.
That's
I've
true.
Come away
yeah,
from
fair enough.
Entourage and he now struggled to. Adrian, he's probably struggled to get work because people think it's Vince.
It's just Vincent Chase.
Is the acting bad if he's managed to convince a whole load of people that he's Vincent Chase? He's struggled for work since.
A valid point.
I need to take Arcane out of my top 3 because one has just come to straight right to the front of my brain, and I'm like, oh shit, Big Mouth season 5.
Yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt, the best Big Mouth season since season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh,
have you not watched it yet?
No Coach Steve.
Must have watched it.
I've not watched Big Mouth since season 3. I think.
Oh my god! Oh, you've missed out on so much.
Yeah, it was when there was like a little monster. That's when I last watched it.
I think that was season 2.
All right, and there was
season 3.
There was like the monster of making you feel when you feel bad about stuff.
Oh, he's quite good. He's annoying when he first pops up, but he's quite good now.
Shame Monster in season 5 was way better. Like I said, way better. This season was so much more.
So good.
Just it got rid of some of the extras. Like it got rid of some of the Coach Steve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Coach Steve.
I like Coach Steve.
I quite like Coach Steve, but I like Coach Steve in like small doses.
Yeah.
It's not about him.
Doesn't need his own episode.
Like one season when he was in every episode, and it was just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. But then another honorable mention for me was Vigil, which was on BBC, which was like
submarine one,
which was the submarine one, wasn't it? Which was
cool.
Which was really good. That hooked me in. That was good. I like that.
Write that down.
That's some serious TV for you. That's not like
what was it called?
Vigil.
Vigil.
VIGIL. That was really good. Proper one where you don't know who did it to the end, really.
Love it. Love a mystery.
Sucked me in.
And like honorable mentions, let's not forget the Great British Bake Off. What a season. Crickets. Silence. I was really hoping I was hoping for that reaction, to be honest.
Good. Let's end this call.
The Great British Bake Off.
I think that's just ticked our like least favorite thing from this year.
There you go. Yeah.
General shite like that. Love Island, Great British Bake Off. In the sea.
Get the fuck.
Great British Sewing Bee.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think I could. I was saying this to Duncan. I don't think I could pick like my least favorite thing because if I know I'm not going to like it, I don't watch it.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's true.
But then, is there anything you've watched that you've gone, oh, actually, that was a bit shit?
Turned it off after one episode, maybe.
Yeah.
but it probably doesn't appear in my watch again on Netflix list, which is what most of my list has been based upon.
Duncan, do you have a TV show that was your worst one this year?
I've got two, and both for different. One where I think I just didn't enjoy it, but I think the second one I think genuinely was not that great at all. Invincible on Amazon.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying you weren't that happy about it.
I wasn't a fan of the main character, but I quite liked the world of it, and I think maybe it'll be better in season 2. So it's on the list of
it's been meme central since it came out as well.
Yeah, I don't know how much I enjoyed it, but I will watch a bit of season 2, and I think I'll kind of work that out. I think I quite like the style of it and like the kind of all the other characters. I just wasn't a fan of like the main character. I wasn't really sure what was going on with him. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier is probably my in the bin TV show of this year.
Fair enough. I would actually agree. I think although they had some decent chemistry between the two actors, a lot of the jokes fell flat, and a lot of the story was just a bit meh. And then it ended well because they were obviously trying to push this whole like new Captain America, Captain Falcon. Is he called Captain Falcon, or is he just still Captain America?
I don't think he can be called Captain Falcon because Nintendo would be like, hello.
Oh yeah, that's true. Copyright. But yeah, I would agree. It was probably my least favorite of the 3 TV shows that came out, other than Hawkeye that's just started, but I've not started that.
Yeah. I just thought it was kind of poor. I thought the villains were really poor. I think a lot of these shows are, if you have a really good villain or a really good hook, then you'll watch it. And it will keep carry you through some of the slower moments, the moments that don't really work. I thought the villains were really bad. Personally, their biggest waste was actually George St. Pierre from the first episodes.
Absolutely, I remember you telling. Yeah.
He is a character that we've already been introduced to. He probably should have been the villain.
Yeah, because he was in what? He was in Civil War or something.
Falcon. He was in the Winter Soldier.
Oh right, yeah.
So he's been there, and also legit badass. So he lends a bit of credibility to it. So if Captain America's the new Captain America has to fight him, you're kind of all right, okay, that works.
But then he didn't
in the back of your brain. So yeah, but they didn't. He kind of left after the first episode, returns towards the end.
Yeah,
briefly. And you're kind of thinking, like you say, the chemistry was kind of there, and it kind of was choppy and changey, and yeah, I think it could have been a lot better than it was.
Fair enough,
but it's where it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I just think of something. The latest season of Final Space was a bit of a letdown.
I've not watched that actually.
Oh yeah, that's the little green alien dude, right?
Yeah, wasn't as good. I found myself on my phone quite a lot during that.
It's such a great way of looking at a show.
That should be one of our statements now. Did you look at your phone?
Well, see, that's why I like the Only Murders in the Building. During Only Murders in the Building, you're hooked, and it's only 25-minute episodes, so like you're watching them quite quick. Like you say, it's kind of
that's what you need, though. Isn't
that's
it?
what you need.
Yeah. TV shows get too long sometimes.
Yeah, if you can hook the amount of times they could hook an audience in 25 minutes, and the amount of content they could get through in 25 minutes, and you didn't feel like it was rushed, was pretty fucking impressive.
Controversial to what we just talked about. My least favorite TV show is because it was too short.
Ooh. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
A plot twist. And a show that we've been itching to talk about is Star Wars Visions.
All right. Okay.
I watched it.
Not enough Thick Bunny?
Not enough Thick Bunny. Thick Bunny was just so
criminally underused.
Criminally underused. It was I don't know why I expected, but I didn't expect like 8-minute shorts or like 5-minute shorts. I was
that how short?
Genuinely.
Yeah, they're quite short.
I watched episode 1 was fantastic. It was really, really well animated. The story was really cool. And then it ended and I was like, what the fuck? And I paused it, and it was like 4 minutes 37. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, damn!
I can't remember how long it is, but you're right.
Yeah, it's not 4 minutes, but I'm exaggerating.
Yeah,
but
I get what you mean.
And then I watched episode 2, which was about this kid who wanted to be a musician at the pod racing thing. I didn't like that as much. It was slightly longer. And then there was the other one with the twins. That one
Twins
was okay,
one I didn't like,
but it was short. And then they also had a battle on top of a spaceship without any helmets on.
Yeah, that was impressive.
And then there was the rest, and the thick bunny turned up, and I was like,
I quite liked the episode with the asteroid and all the Jedi being called to it. I thought that one was quite.
I thought some of the stories were good, but as a whole, it probably was a bit of a phone twitch of a TV show.
Nice.
Yeah, it's catching on.
I'd agree. Some of it, some of the episodes I was hooked, and some of them I wasn't. The wee robot boy episode. Yeah, I didn't feel it was good, but it didn't really compared to the first episode, which is bonkers, and dark and brilliant. And then
I think it's the different artists as well. So there's so many different versions of anime. And all these different artists that have their own interpretation of what things look like and what they should act and move like. I think if you binge it, like I was wanting to binge it, like I thought it was going to be 20, 25-minute episodes, but it's not. It's these shorts. And then you kind of just you should really only watch maybe 1 or 2 and then watch something else or go for a walk or whatever. I don't know. Whatever you were allowed to do back then, just go for your hour walk.
Exercise.
So that was my worst one. Best one, I don't know if I have a best one yet because I've not had long enough to think about it. TV show.
That's your That's Class award for the season.
So That's Class award for the 2021.
Money Heist.
That Class award.
Season 5 for That's Class award.
Season 5 Money Heist.
I'm just gonna
wait till end a TV show.
That's good. It's good. It's good. The show gets a good finale. It's rare these days.
Very rare. We'll give it a unanimous That's Class award is Money Heist.
But you haven't watched it yet. So
I haven't watched it yet, but I trust you.
Don't.
If any listeners have any thoughts on what they thought was the best, we'd love to hear it. You can email us at that'sclasspod@gmail.com, or you can
there's one we've massively overlooked.
Slide into the DMs.
Slide into the DMs.
I don't know. I'm just thinking there'll be one that someone will say it. We'll be like,
yeah, I know. Oh yeah. So yeah, if you're shouting down your phone, being like, you haven't even talked about this one, please let us know. And then we'll probably shame you on the next episode.
What about the brand new season of Pokemon?
So moving on from TV shows.
Yes.
We were discussing how many times everyone's been to the cinema, and it has definitely there's definitely a discrepancy.
Yes,
massive discrepancy.
So before the pandemic happened, I was in New Zealand, and I went to the cinema, and I saw a movie called Sonic the Hedgehog, and then the pandemic happened. So I genuinely think that was the last time I went to a cinema, and it was Sonic the Hedgehog
on Netflix,
which is quite fitting now that the episode 2, movie 2, Sonic 2 trailer has just dropped, which we might talk about later. Or
the
might
sequel,
not.
Rory.
I
think that's the word.
I got very confused there. My brain had a little bit of a fart. So I haven't been to the cinema. So I guess I've streamed movies and watched them in other ways. It's quite difficult here in Sri Lanka. My nearest cinema is 3 hours away. So you kind of have to have you have to drive there, have dinner, go to the cinema, maybe stay in a hotel, and then drive back. It's a very expensive day to go to the cinema.
I'll bet, yeah.
So I guess I've watched, I watched Shang-Chi. That's probably the one movie I've seen this year, which was good.
All right. So you've not watched, not heard any other, recent films?
No.
Yeah, you have, because we talked about them.
You must have. Yeah, definitely have.
You only went to Sri Lanka in October. You were...
This is so true.
Yeah, but I never went to the
beach
cinema.
has him now.
The whole
Peach
fucking
has.
summer.
No, but right. Okay, changing it this way.
Well, Ice Road. Like that's everyone's top 3.
Oh
Ice Road.
yeah, sorry,
top
I
five,
watched Ice Road. Fucking movie.
So I was thinking films. Okay, so we don't have to go into them if we don't need to, because it could be a whole other thing in itself. But so top 3 films. Do I go for that?
Yeah, I've got kind of
This
like
includes
some written down.
Netflix films. Okay.
Rory quickly Googles films that came out this year.
So in at 3.
Way ahead of you. Do you want me to share my screen?
In at 3, Harder They Fall.
Oh, nice. I watched that recently.
That was good. I really enjoyed that. Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, Regina King. That was good. I'd say the last third, the big finale,
The actual finale,
in the town,
yeah.
I would say it kind of loses. I think genuinely you start to lose track of where people are.
Lost me at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, does that make sense? Like you kind of you start to lose track of where, like that guy Cherokee Bill seems to fucking teleport to wherever he's needed in the story, rather than him actually logically making his way to the places he needs to be to kill who kill who he kills. He just kind of magically appears. So yeah, I think we're both in agreement on that. It kind of a bit. What are you laughing at?
Sorry to interrupt. I googled films that came out this year, and obviously because I'm in Sri Lanka and Google is using my location. Are you in
Sri Lanka, Rory? I didn't know that.
I just keep getting Bollywood movies that came out this year. I'm like, I don't recognize any of these movies. Sorry, carry on.
No, it's all right. Just like Bollywood versions of our list. So Harder They Fall. Yeah. I went to cinema. I saw Dune in the cinema.
Oh, did you? Is it good?
It's really good. I think it's really worth watching. I've read the first book. It finishes in a weird place, but it's kind of the only logical place to end it if you've read.
Would you recommend reading the books before watching the film?
I mean, the first book is worth reading. I think the first book's actually not bad. It's worth reading anyway.
I picked up the book and it just seemed awfully dense, and I'm not sure I could get into it.
It's not too bad. Like it is a little bit at the start, but once you kind of get into it,
I think
you're watching the film. Okay,
you enjoy the film, Eddie. I think you will enjoy the film. It's exactly like we talked about. It's it takes that sort of Game of Thrones style of the warring families thing, but it's very much like the original, like what Star Wars was based on. So it's very much giant cities and
Jedi's,
like ornithopters, which are like their version of helicopters, and
cool.
It's
is that the helicopter that looks like a dragonfly?
Dragonfly, yeah. And they built them. They actually built the helicopters for all the scenes are actually like the actual things. That's with cool. CGI screens.
Yeah, I watched the Corridor Crew episode about the CGI behind it.
Yeah.
And my brother saw it, and my mate Lloyd saw it, and they were both raving about it, and they're both like they love reading books. So they've all read the books already, and they're like, "That's amazing compared to the book."
Yeah. Oh no, the book's good.
Words on a page.
Yeah. And then I've got my top one, which would be controversial. Is best thing I've seen in the cinema this year was James Bond.
Nice, best thing I've seen in the cinema this year.
Does that say?
How many times you go to the cinema?
Once.
It's the best. It's the best film. It's the best one I saw in the cinema. I really enjoyed it. Did I agree with the ending? No, but I understand why they did the ending.
Yeah.
So I can agree with it on that level of okay, that kind of makes sense. Would I have done that? No, but overall, I really enjoyed.
I enjoyed it.
It felt like a Bond film. It felt really good, and I was enjoying it.
I think sometimes people can expect. People have got to a point where you go back and you look at the old James Bond films. The new ones are like on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
But people have got to this point where they just like people have started demanding so much of movies. Like it has to do this, it has to have that. This has to happen like that. You're just like, it's a fucking James Bond film. Enjoy it for what it is.
Enjoy it for the outrageousness.
Some things don't have to make sense. Go back and watch some of the old ones. Like they're straight into the action straight away. Nothing. For whatever reason, he's now got a vendetta against this bad guy straight away.
Yeah.
Chill.
And it's all done in like an hour and a half. So he has to. There wasn't a lot of time back then to kind of set them up. So you're right. It's kind of straight in. No muss, no fuss.
Everyone loves to go like Sean Connery, best James Bond. You been back and watched his Bond films, like.
Yeah,
They
most
are,
sexy.
they are
James
still
Bond.
they are still pretty good though. Doctor No is still
but I
magic.
mean, the new ones, like the Daniel Craig ones, are on like another level of like, I suppose, like filmmaking and
filmmaking has come a long way.
They made them a lot more real as well.
Yeah,
as real as they can
tried
make
to
it.
basically
Less
copy
like
Jason Bourne at the time, because Casino Royale was 2006, and that was after the Bourne Supremacy, but before the Bourne Ultimatum, which is considered one of the best action films.
Yeah,
or spy films.
No, I also enjoyed James Bond,
and they had the parkour.
Parkour.
And then I've got my special mentions are, and Eddie's going to hate this one. Special mention to Red Notice, which stars two of Eddie's favourite actors, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my God. That movie looks awful.
I'm fed up with them.
The Rock needs to stop doing things.
He needs to just like take a chill. Yeah.
Dude needs a holiday.
Fucking lying.
I know it's maybe controversial because a lot of people seem to love The Rock, but I'm absolutely tired of this man now.
Sick to death of him. Yeah. Sick to death of him.
He needs to lock
I was actually
himself.
enjoying. There was a period where he wasn't on our screens for a bit.
Yeah.
And it was nice. And it was
very nice.
Now he's back again. It's like, why can't you just like do a movie a year instead of like, I only started with $7. Like, I'm going to do fucking everything. And up at 3 a.m. in the gym. Look at the Pancake Mountain I'm eating. Gives a fuck, mate. Away and like, have that cardiac arrest. You're long overdue.
But then, do you know what I've noticed? Is a lot of these movies that he's in, his production company have paid for it, basically.
Yeah.
So like,
I
wonder if he'd actually get this much work had he not like invested in the movie.
Yeah.
I think he's just very. Either he is very like astute to like business, or he's surrounded himself with people that are also very clever with.
I think it's probably a bit of both.
Bit of both, because he definitely has, like you said, like the $7 productions thing isn't a lot of stuff. Like, but the bigger things, like Red Notice, is $7.
Yeah.
But like, coming to Black
$7?
Adam, I'm not sure.
Black Adam is
Black
DC, right?
Adam is DC. So I'm curious to see if he appears, if the production company is involved in that one.
Probably will be as like a producer.
It probably will be as a producer. So yeah, it was interesting. Red Notice, genuinely, apart from being kind of sick of Ryan Reynolds, who has the same problem as The Rock.
He's not really been in too much though, has he?
Free Guy
was
him no favors.
A year. Yeah.
But like,
I didn't twitch from my phone once in Red Notice.
Super fed up with Ryan Reynolds. Super fed up with him.
And he plays himself. Yeah, so he plays Ryan Reynolds.
Which I had to do a double take the other day because there was an advert on for some perfume on the TV, and it was Ryan Reynolds, and I actually laughed because it was like he was being serious about like this girl and the smell of her perfume and stuff, and I was like, "Are you taking the piss?"
It was maybe his wife.
It wasn't his wife. Yeah, he was kissing her. But fed up to death with them.
Cool.
My top three, probably in no particular order. I had James Bond, Godzilla.
Godzilla's in my special mentions. Yeah, Godzilla versus Kong.
Fucking loved it. And then the last one, bit of a dilemma, but I watched White Tiger on Netflix and really enjoyed that this year. So I'm going to put that in my top three.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Have you watched that?
I have not. No.
I enjoyed that. So it's based on a book.
Okay.
But it's about fuck. I'd have to find it to remind myself. That's a lie. No, because I put it in my top three. So it's set in somewhere in India. And basically, the guy he's in poverty, and his town's owned kind of like invert like quotation mark by some really rich guy, and then he gets a job driving the rich guy's son, and then he basically sort of wheels and deals his way to becoming really rich and running his own business through various means that are in the movie. So I think I don't know if it's kind of like semi-biographical. I'm not sure. I might be lying, but there it is. It was really good. Really enjoyed it. It's got a load of people that I wouldn't know how to say or
say their names.
Yeah. But no, it was really good. Really enjoyed it.
Awesome. I've got Kate was the other one of my special mentions alongside King Kong. which was the one with the assassin.
Yeah.
And Tokyo.
Well, I had Chicago 7.
Oh, Chicago 7, yeah.
Oh, that was a great. I'm going to put that in mind. There you
go. Also, we discussed Army of the Dead, kind of like that a bit.
Oh, the
Army of Thieves
movie.
Yeah, but Army of Thieves, the prequel sort of the Safecracker, was I enjoyed that. I thought that was a good film. I quite enjoyed that.
Nice.
I also had Stowaway on my list. It was a Netflix film.
Because
in it, but I enjoyed it.
Because I never really managed to make it to the cinema this year. I watched. Yeah, I watched Shang-Chi the other day, which was a fine generic Marvel movie. It was fine. It added a new superhero to the mix. Again, classic Marvel going like they kind of changed it a little bit until the very end, and I was like, oh yeah, it's yellow good guy versus blue bad guy. Like it was the same superpower again. I was like, cool, that's another one down. It's not a movie, but it's a documentary I watched recently called 14 Peaks.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer.
Oh yeah,
dude, holy shit, it's really good. It's about this Nepalese guy. I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now. But he basically wants to Dave. We'll call him Dave. And Dave wants to basically climb the 14 highest mountains in the world within 7 months, which has never been done before. They've been climbed by this German guy, and he did it in like 16 years or something. And obviously with like the help of oxygen tanks and things like that, he wanted to climb
and not die.
And not die. Impressive. Yeah. And he wanted to try and push the awareness of all the Nepalese people and the Sherpas that actually help all these Western people climb up these mountains. And he is Nepalese anyway, from Nepal. So like everyone was like super excited that he was their team leader, and he had all this Western support and money and funding, and he was able to go and do it. It's really, really good watch. I feel like they could have filmed or documented a bit more of the actual climbs, because some of the mountains, they kind of just go, we're at the summit. And it's like, right, okay. So they did that one. The only ones they really kind of go in depth with is obviously Everest and K2, and those the sort of dangerous ones is the ones that we really document, because shit goes down. But yeah, really good documentary. I recommend it.
Awesome.
That's all for me.
Any special mentions, or go for it? What was the worst film you saw this year?
I don't know. Probably
I've got two worst films. They're worst for different reasons.
Go for it.
I'll just agree.
Black Widow.
Yeah.
I
do also agree.
Black Widow was awful. Hot garbage, as we say in this show.
Hot garbage, yes.
Hot garbage, just
right
terrible.
In the bin.
So bad.
Set the bin on fire.
And do you know what's on there? And despite me quite enjoying it in the cinema, I'm putting it on there because I finally feel I've put up with this series for a long time, and I've backed it to the hilt. But even I'm struggling now with Fast and Furious 9.
He's done it.
I watched it.
Oh, he's done it. Oh, thanks, Duncan. I agree. I think it's about time we talk about these movies.
I have put up with that. I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy it. It's a popcorn movie. I've got no problem with it. I enjoy it for what it is. But even this one, I was struggling.
Too far-fetched. There's too much.
It just got a bit too much. But if I'm being serious about it, like, it's enjoyable and it's fine. You have a good time and you come at the cinema, but you kind of sit there and you're like, what was all that
happening? Yeah.
Just so much stuff that is unnecessary. But you did get to see Edinburgh for like 7 seconds. But it filmed in Edinburgh, so I'll give it bonus point. I'll give it claws back some redemption because it went to different locations for a period.
Yeah, and their car transports from street to street.
Yes, yeah, they have magical cars. So I'll give them that. That was interesting. It's the bit where they suck a car through a shop using a magnet, right? Trust me, That sentence makes no sense in the first. In 2002, when the Too Fast and Furious came out, that sentence made no sense. They use a magnet to pull the car from George Street to Bread Street. Or is it, so it's something like they pull. So the car's John Cena's driving down like George Street.
Yeah.
In his car, he gets sucked through a wall into this truck, but the truck isn't on George. The truck isn't. There's the next street down is like Queen Street, which is down a hill in real life. But in this one, it's like pulls it through to the street over, which is like Bread Street.
Yeah. But then I think, like Eddie said when we last reviewed that movie, for the millions of people that live in the world,
no,
it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, we've probably watched a lot of movies that are set in San Francisco or whatever, and we've gone, nice, that was a sweet scene. And then people in San Francisco go, they have no idea how San Francisco is laid out.
Or Chicago, Toronto pretending to be Chicago. That happens a lot. Yeah.
Or what I found out,
right Shang-Chi sign.
Shang-Chi is based in San Francisco, but was filmed in Sydney. So that's interesting.
Is it?
Huh.
You guys glitched out there, cool. So it's just you didn't give a shit about that piece of knowledge.
So did you, yeah. You stopped and were like, oh, power cut, here we go.
His beef with Vin Diesel.
Rock isn't in this Fast and Furious.
No, he's not in it.
Oh, thank fuck, about time.
And he's going to watch 9 now because he's not in it.
They must have put him in some sort of big, huge container and just reversed him off a cliff. How would you imagine that would go? Would there be some guy in some sort of lorry just reversing it up, and it would just be beep, 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 beep. Oh no 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 no. Trailer time. Season 2.
Season 2, episode 1. Welcome to Trailer Time, Season 2, episode 1. A podcast within a podcast where we talk about trailers. Duncan, want to kick us off with a trailer? What's happened this week?
Good God. Yeah, there's been quite a few trailers this week, hasn't there? Well, one I quite liked and one I'm quite excited for because coming up is The Matrix Resurrections.
Nice.
Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about it, but it looks good and I'm probably going to see it.
Pretty pumped.
It's pumped. A trailer gets you pumped. It's got just the right amount of nostalgia. You're like, ooh, member berries.
Oh, I remember.
I remember.
Ooh, I remember. Oh, I remember the pills. Ooh, I remember Morpheus. Remember bullet time?
He still remembers Kung Fu.
Oh yeah. I still remember Kung Fu. Yeah, I'm really excited for that for this film. I feel like it's like you say, you don't quite sure. It's either going to be a very good observation because The Matrix is I looked this up to get the word right. It's kind of like a zeitgeist of the early 2000s, and sort of computing and action films and everything, and it can change the way people made hacking and all that sort of stuff. The way technology's gone since the first Matrix film, how much of that are they going to incorporate into the new one? I think that it's actually an interesting idea to come back to the Matrix now with all technology, the metaverse and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I've got hope. I've got don't give me hope, but there's just the
whole time every time I've watched the trailers, I've had the Riley Reid meme in my head of, oh fuck, you're gonna make me watch all the Matrix films before this comes out.
It's gonna make sense.
So true. On a little side note from that, the Unreal Engine 5 Matrix Awakens.
Yeah, I saw this the other day.
Yeah,
was that a
very
game?
much. It's a game. You can download it for your Xbox. It's
it feels
an Unreal
like it's
Engine
just
5
a demo.
It's a tech demo, so you can drive around the city and you can fly a drone around the city and you can kind of look at all the Unreal Engine 5 as it works.
It's weird, right?
You can you
can change what you see. So
yes,
Unreal Engine is basically meant to be it looks so realistic, engine, and then you can change it to see all of so everything's made out of many triangles.
Yeah, you can change it to show the inner workings of Unreal Engine.
It's incredible.
And how they built the city. The polygons and stuff, exactly.
They call them nanites now.
And the way they do the AI virtualization, they've got AI that will simulate 15,000 pedestrians at once, and stuff like that. So it, in terms of tech demo, and it allows you to go, like you say, behind the curtain a little bit to kind of look at it that way. It was a hefty download. It was like 30 gig download, but
yeah. And I wonder, because there's the scene, there's like a shoot
like
scene where you're a car scene where you're like shooting all the agents and stuff.
Yes.
Because of the Unreal Engine, will that look different every time you play that scene? Because Unreal Engine obviously has like particle physics and things. So if you shoot one car differently to the other one first, maybe that changes how that scene would, not how the scene would end, but it might look different.
Fine, I'll play it again and let you know.
Yeah. Give us a screen recording.
It was good. So I would, that's just, don't need to talk about the trailer, but worth mentioning.
Definitely, yeah.
So looking forward to it.
Quite excited for that. It comes out very soon, though, doesn't it?
The Matrix Resurrection is out next week.
Nice.
22nd.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're going to the cinema for it.
Yeah. Night in the big city.
I'm gonna have 3 days.
The big
2
city,
days.
you say?
It's like one for the Spider-Man and then one for Matrix, and then fucking hell. Spent so much money going to the cinema now. Great. I hope it's in English.
Spider-Man next Wednesday. That'll be fun.
To go and watch some really bad.
You're going to have the audio description headphones this time.
Yeah,
He suddenly doesn't look so confident, do you? Don't look so confident now.
Sad face on.
Sad face. Moving on though to a trailer that someone else wrote down, but I've been absolutely buzzing for, was Lightyear.
Let me guess, Lightyear.
Oh my god. Oh
yeah, when that dropped, I was like, holy shit, this came out of nowhere.
The hype is so good. Who knew Buzz Lightyear had hair? But yeah, super hyped. And then when they show the suit at the end,
it was purple.
Trailer, it's such a well-made trailer, and I feel like it's like during the Toy Story storyline, and I think Toy Story 2, you start off in a video game about Buzz, and the video game I think is based on, like, the toy of Buzz Lightyear is based on the TV show, I think, called Star Command. Duncan, correct me if I'm wrong. And I think that's what this is.
So Buzz Lightyear is based off of the toy is based off of this guy, Buzz Lightyear, Chris Evans' character. And then, which might be Star Command, but then obviously you get they play the Buzz Lightyear video game and stuff like that. And there's a quote in Toy Story 2 where it says to do with I think it's Pete that says it, the prospector. Mm-hmm. He says basically no one cared about the cowboys once the guys went up into space, sort of thing. So I'm guessing that it became this whole like sort of, you're a national hero, we're going to make you into toys, and it looks good. I'm excited for it.
It looks very good.
It's Pixar at their best, though, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, it's exactly what you didn't know you wanted until you saw it. So like when you saw the start of Toy Story 2 and you thought, fuck, this looks like a movie of Buzz. This would be so sick. And then it turns out it was a video game. You forgot about it. You were like, it's a video game. And now they've actually given you the movie that you've actually wanted since 1998 or whatever.
I hope
you were like 5 at the time.
I hope Lightyear is good, because I want a Lightyear 2 with the Emperor Zurg, so he gets some sort of.
How do we know he's not going to be?
Yeah, he might be
in
the
first one. Towards something like that, didn't it?
Tease that up.
There was like a big bad teased at some point.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a big bad.
Yeah, big bad.
Pretty hyped for Lightyear.
Eddie?
Pretty hyped. Eddie. Well, the other one that I put on this list, which didn't know I needed until I saw it, was Reacher, which is coming. Well, it's going to be a TV series on Amazon. So
is this like Jack Reacher?
Jack Reacher TV series.
It's Jack
Reacher TV series, but with someone who actually looks like how Jack Reacher should look. And not
cocaine! Alan Ritchson.
So,
Thad Castle himself.
Oh, no way.
I'm quite excited.
The oh no way tells me, Rory, that you haven't watched the trailer.
I've not watched the trailer now.
Unforgivable.
I'm learning this just like the listeners are.
Yeah. Eddie's right. Jack Reacher. Looking like Jack Reacher. It'll be interesting because Cruise kind of nailed being Jack Reacher, but he wasn't. Didn't look like Jack Reacher.
No.
Too small.
I was never not okay with Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher. I liked Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher. But yeah, when you've read the books and everything, and all the books are basically Jack Reacher's nigh on a man mountain.
Yeah.
Then
and then you see 5'7" Tom Cruise.
Got like little diddy Tom Cruise.
Just running around.
Yeah.
It's funny, It's definitely Alan Richards obviously got on the superhero diet as well for this film, for this TV show.
3000.
Yeah.
So supposedly they're planning on doing a series, which I imagine means they're probably going to retrace the movie's steps at some point, if not pretty early on. I'm not sure. Can't remember at what point in like the book series the movies were.
I can't remember either.
No, it should be good. Kind of makes me want to go back and read some of the books I haven't read. Yeah, quite excited. Quite excited for that.
I'm excited for that now as well.
Good balance of humor and the fight scenes are good.
Yeah, it does look like it's going to have some humorous bits in it. Yeah, so I was thinking some of the fight scenes I seem to remember from either the movies or reading one of the books. Can't remember which one. So no, yeah, buzzing.
I think the one about the movie. I think the thing about the stature of Jack Reacher, Eddie, and you might agree with me on this. A lot of his fighting comes from the fact he's a man mountain. So, and Tom Cruise obviously couldn't throw people. Like Tom Cruise's fights would be different because of just Tom Cruise's fights style will
more
be
like
different,
karate,
smaller. Yeah, whereas Alan Richardson looks like he's actually just throwing guys, like tossing guys through sinks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like the Punisher. You're kind of all right, okay, like that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
a bit more brutal. So I'll be good.
Yeah. Nice, keen for that. Shall we end it there, lads? Only because it feels like it's been a long pod, but actually, once I start editing it, it might just be over an hour.
And we've not even talked about Sexy Knuckles in Sonic 2.
I know. We'll quickly mention Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
He's like Sonic came 2,
out.
What?
Sexy? Is Knuckles a girl?
There was an article about. There was an article produced. I'll send you about. They were talking to Idris Elba about Knuckles, and they were like, "So how are you going to play Knuckles? Like, you going to like bring that smoldering sort of sexiness?" He's like, "No, I'm not going to be playing a sexy Knuckles."
All right.
And everyone went, "No, we want sexy Knuckles."
Idris. Everyone's like, "Idris, show us the way."
Show us the way. Yeah, exactly.
Give us sexy Knuckles.
Please show me the way.
I don't know why the interviewer asked it. The interviewer just basically said, like, "Oh, you're going to bring X, Y, Z, maybe make him a bit like sexy or whatever." And just Idris was like, "No, he's like a kid's. He's a echidna, a cartoon echidna."
Are they going to make him cluck for the princess?
It's just like he's like, "No," he's like, "No sex," and everyone then went, "No, we want no. Now it's been said, we want it now."
Please, sir,
give us that smolder.
Give us that smolder, yeah.
And I have.
I'll send you the article. It's funny.
Apparently, I learned the other day that if you say prawn under your breath, it's like a little smoldery pout. If you just go,
is it?
Prawn. And then you look all sexy. So maybe that's how Idris Elba does it.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
And confirm.
Yeah.
Denied.
Anyway,
Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Shall we end it there, lads?
Oh,
I think so. We're all caught up.
Nice one. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. If you want to contribute to the topics, if you want us to talk about anything that you want to listen to us talk about, I guess, if that made sense. I had another brain fart. Find us on all of the socials. Search for That's Class Pod. You'll probably find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Give us a little direct message and let us know what you want us to talk about, what you find class. We'll probably put it in a future episode. You can also catch our faces on YouTube, usually the following Wednesday, but it depends on how much I actually want to work on this thing. And you can watch us talk about it rather than just listening to us on a podcast. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, all that stuff. And the best thing you can do with the pod is just share it. share it to your friends, lie to your friends and tell them they'll enjoy it, even if you think they won't, because that's super fun. Thank you so much for listening. We're back, baby. We'll see you next week. Have a super, super day. Say goodbye, Duncan.
Goodbye, Duncan.
And as Eddie says at the end of every episode of That's Class,
you have to let it all go, Neil. Fear, doubt, disbelief. Free your mind.
Nice.